Hello, hello, hello. Today I have something really great for you guys, and it's going to be coming out of the book of John. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and don't forget to share on my YouTube channel, Lindaria Watts. But today I have a good word for you. It's going to be titled The Main Event, or as I like to say, surprise, surprise. So we're going to be reading in John chapter 2, and we're going to be reading verse 1 through 11. Come on with me. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Now, both Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding. And when they ran out of wine, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does your concern have to do with me? My hour has yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Whatever he says to you, do it." Now there were 6 water pots of stone, according to the manner of purification of the Jews, containing 20 or 30 gallons apiece. Jesus said to them, "Fill the water pots with water." And they filled them to the brim. And he said to them, "Draw out now, and take it to the master of the feast." And they took it. And when the master of the feast had tasted the water, that it was made wine, and did not know where it came from, but the servants who had drawn the water knew. The master of the feast called the bridegroom, and he said to them, "Every man at the beginning sets out the good wine, and when the guests have well drunk, then the inferior, you have kept the good wine until now." The beginning of signs that Jesus did in Cana of Galilee manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. That was a mouthful. So out of this, I want to tell you what I've written down, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to discuss some verses, right? Give me my trusty pen, my pen. So I wrote down the main event, unspoken faith, a mother knows best, be prepared to be prepared to work miracles at any moment. People who are assigned to you know. You don't know the weight that you carry. They didn't know who you were, and they didn't know who they were in the presence of. And the whole time at the party, they were in the presence of a miracle worker. Had they knew who Jesus was, they would have changed their behavior. Filling to the brim is blessings with overflow. And surprise, surprise. Now, I'm going to make all of this make sense. I promise you I'm going to make it all make sense. I know you're like, what, Lindaria? What? Listen. A mother knows best. The way Mary said to him, and in the way he received what she said to him, even spoke volumes even more. Okay, she said, "They have no wine." Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does your concern have to do with me? My hour hasn't yet come." The funny thing is, how did Jesus even know that she meant make wine? All she said was, "They have no wine." But being raised with his mother, he knew what she meant. Because all of his life, she probably been testing to see what her son can do. Because she knew what God told her. And before she even had him in her belly, she knew that God spoke to her and said that she was going to be great, that her son was going to be great. So she already knew that if I say this one thing to him, he's going to receive it because he is great. And I know what my son can do. I know. My son doesn't think that he can do this yet. He doesn't think his time has come yet. He don't think that God told him yet. He thinks he knows everything, right? Wrong. A mother knows best. You know the potential that your child has before they have it. God spoke a word to her through an angel before she even had him in her belly. So she already knew that he was going to be great. He just had to walk into his power and his purpose. All his life, since he was a little boy, he's been kind of playing with it here, playing with it there, but he did not know that it was his time to walk in his victory. He did not know it was his time to go and make the world great. Go and show the miracle signs and wonders. He did not know yet. But she did. She sat there and she was watching him the whole night. Everybody getting drunk. They drinking. And she is like, they don't even know my child. They don't even know this is his time. They don't even know who they're in the presence of. And all while they getting drunk, all while they tearing the flow up, all while they having a funky good time, Jesus and his disciples are sitting back there like, oh, this is a good wedding. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, they drunk over there. Oh, okay. They minding their business on Mind Their Business Avenue. But Mary was minding his business on mind his business avenue, because the whole time they were drinking, she was sitting back watching like, yeah, God, okay, I heard you. It's his time? Okay, God, I got you. God spoke a word to her, and she spoke a word to him, and he began to start his mission. He began to start his mission. It's so funny, because then it says right here, when the master had tasted it. No, you're going to go back before that. We're going to go back to when Jesus said, fill the pots with water. Fill the pots with water, and they filled it to the brim. Now, they could have put a little bit in there because they were just like, I don't even know this man. And she talking about whatever he say, do. Like, this is just water. This is just water. Legit water. Is they losing their mind over there? Is Mary and Jesus lost their mind? And he got these people following behind him talking some, fill this pot with water. Fill these pots with water. What is water finna do? Water is water. You know how long it takes to make wine? You know how many grapes it takes to make wine? Do you know how much pressure it takes to make wine? Do you know how much pressure you got to put to make wine? And they talking about fill it up with water. What is water going to do? Now, had the servants been disobedient, it would have went a different route. But they had this unspoken faith that if he told them to get those pots and fill them to the brim with water, and it would turn into wine. Listen, you talking about faith of a mustard seed. Let's get this faith of a servants. Because these servants said, okay, bet, fill them up with water. I don't know what he finna do, but if she said do what he said, then we gonna do what he said. Because I believe in something I can't see yet. The unspoken faith. Listen, they filled those pots with water. They filled those pots with water. And all of a sudden, the water, matter of fact, they didn't even see a manifestation. He says, fill the pot with water and then get it out and take it to the master. So even then, they still didn't see anything marvelous happen. They just took some water to the doggone, to the king. They took it to him. Like, here you go, my king. And they looking at this water like, I hope this man don't lose his mind on us. Like, here you go, king. And all of a sudden, the king took a sip and said, ooh, where has this been all my life? Where has this been all this time? Where, oh, where has this been? So y'all go give us the bad stuff in the beginning of the party. Let them get drunk thinking they having something good. But then serve the king the best. Saving the best for last. Listen, the king didn't even understand what just had happened. But the servants, they served him the water, had that much faith in Jesus, knowing that he told them to go give this to the king. They could have been beheaded had that only been water. They could have been killed right then and there if that was just water. But the belief they had in this man, the belief they had in Mary, who told him to go to the man, the belief they had in the man that told him to go to the king, the belief they had in the man when they took the water to the king was unspoken faith. They said, you know what? We believe. We believe. We believe so much so that we're going to take this water, who we know that we filled these pots up with water. We know what's in here. We're going to go take this to the king, and we're going to give it to him. And my God will deliver us, because he will not put us in the hands of the enemy. They gave us to this king, and this king rejoiced. Like y'all say, the best for last. Where did this come from all my life? And Jesus is sitting back with his disciples like, yep. And the disciples are sitting like, did this just happen? Like, do you know how long it take to make grapes? They have vineyards out here for years waiting for a harvest. They have years of harvesting. And you, in 1 second, took what takes years and made it wine. Just like that. Just like that, Jesus walked into his calling. Just like that. Just like that, unspoken faith happened with the servants. Just like that. And I'm going to talk to you personally really quick. Just like that. Do you know how long it takes to be a CEO of a building? Do you know how many years you have to study in school to get that degree? Do you know how long? Do you know how long? Do you know how long? Just like that. Just like that. Because when God speaks a word over your life, it's just like that. See, when you get that unspoken faith, when you get that belief down inside of you that God can come in and change your life, he will. He's literally just waiting on you to believe. And when you believe, miracles, signs, and wonders will start coming about. Just like that. Something that took somebody 4 years to get, you're going to get in one day. Just like that. He's going to overflow you. He's going to fill you to the brim with his knowledge, with his wisdom, with his understanding, with his blessings. Just like that. You can sit back and say, my hour hasn't come, but you're still going to be obedient and you're still going to do what your God told you to do. Just like Jesus was obedient to Mary. Because he was like, if she's telling me something, it has to be some substance behind it. It has to be some truth behind it. Just like that, Jesus got up. He says, go get them pots. And he did it. He wasn't really happy when he was doing it. He was like, let me appease this woman for 1 second, because I know my hour has yet to come, but I know what I'm capable of. I've known all my life what I'm capable of. My hour has not come yet, but I know that I heard my Father speak a word over me when I was in my mother's womb. Matter of fact, I heard my Father when I was up in heaven getting ready to be planted. I heard my Father say, you will do amazing things. And I know just like that what my Father can do, because I believe. And once you start believing in that and walking in that, miracle signs and wonders will start coming about. Don't you doubt who you are. Don't you doubt who you are. Don't you doubt who you are, because God created you, and he created you to be more than enough. And just because your hour has yet to come in your own mind does not mean your hour has yet to come, period. Jesus knew, let me be obedient to what my mother is saying really quick, because I think she got a word. And because she got a word, I got a word. And because I got a word, everybody's going to get a word. Go get those pots. Go get those pots and fill them up. Went over there to him. He didn't even look at the pots. He says, take it to the king. He didn't even touch the pots. He didn't even anoint the pots. He didn't do nothing to the pots but believe. And because he believed that he knew he can do it, it was so. Years to make wine, a second to make it with Jesus. That's just how Jesus works. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. All of a sudden, miracles, signs, and wonders will appear when you start believing in Jesus. And because you believe in him, just like that. Not one time in here did it say Jesus touched those pots. Let me read it to you. Jesus said to them, fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, draw some out now and take it to the master of the feast. Not one time did Jesus touch that water. Because everyone's like, Jesus turned water into wine. Oh, how he did it. Oh, he didn't do anything. He gave instructions. And from those instructions, the wine formed. And because of the belief of those servants who took the water to wine, took the water to the master of the building, or whatever he was, who took it to him, it was just so. Because you're going to start doing what Jesus said. If Jesus speaks a word to you, you're going to get on TikTok, or you're going to get on Facebook, or you're going to get on whatever social media platform you got. And you're going to say, Jesus told me to say this to you. And it will be so. Just like that. Listen, you don't need to be touched sometimes. Sometimes all you need is a word. And if you get that word, your life can change forever. Listen, obedience. Obedience. He obeyed Mary. He obeyed what Mary said. They obeyed what Jesus said. And all of a sudden, miracles happen. Never one time did he touch that water. Not one time did he touch that water. And I know as he was making it happen, he's looking at his mother like, didn't I tell you? You know what? All right, mama. All right, you haven't led me astray yet, and I know you not now. And I know because you was this 14-year-old girl, 14-year-old girl, untouched, who had the nerve to believe in what she couldn't see, who birthed out of me, who went through ridicule to have me. I know you're not going to leave me. I know you're not going to forsake me. I know my Father speaks to you and speaks through you and speaks in you to speak to me. And because I know my Father speaks to you, through you, and in you, I believe. And because I know my Father put me here for a purpose, I will start my hour now. My hour has not yet came confirmed from God. But I know my hour is here because I know my belief. And I believe in a God who sent me here to do a mission.